Next at 7, Sunrail is making it easier to commute in and around the greater Orlando area. The planned upgrades coming to the commuter rail system. Plus,
the coldest air of the season is coming to Central Florida right before warm-up. Timing it all out coming up.
Tonight's primetime lineup on WESH 2 is sponsored by Orlando Health Heart and Vascular Institute, ranked top 50 in the nation by U.S. News and World Report.
Right now we have a chilly rain, but overnight some of the coldest air of the season will move in with wind chills in the 20s. All of the very latest straight ahead.
And also, I feel that they're paralyzed. They don't know what recourse they have. They don't really know what to do.
Mixed status families, undocumented parents who may face deportation with their American-born children. How thousands of children in Florida could be impacted as our country's immigration policy is reshaped.
It's fantastic because it's affordable to take Sunrail, and it's basically a community on wheels.
Sunrail is on track to connect to Orlando International Airport, but it is a long way to the last stop.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
If you think it's cold now, just wait. Temperatures are about to dip even colder. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stuart Moore.
And I'm Michelle Imparato. We want to get right over to First Warning Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi. Tony, it is literally going to be freezing cold.
It is, and up there in Marion County, that combined with the wind chills across many areas out the door tomorrow morning will be in the 20s and the 30s. And then Saturday morning, that's going to be even colder. We are talking about the potential for a hard freeze up here in Marion County on the heels of the freeze that we're expecting tomorrow morning. And that's extended over towards northwestern portions there of Flagler, Volusia, Sumter, and on into northern Lake County. So again, the potential is there for a widespread freeze. We'll have to watch the clouds and the moisture tonight. If it takes a little bit longer to move on out, that could be the saving grace here from the land back towards Leesburg. But a chilly, damp, raw Thursday night here, as low pressure is developing near the Bahamas, and that's pulling up a lot of moisture and a lot of clouds. Look at these feels-like temperatures. 38 to Lamb, 37 in Orlando. It's actually warmer up in Ocala because it's not raining there, but overnight tonight, as that low pressure pulls on out, temperatures are going to drop. We'll have a freeze north and west, and we'll have wind chills in the 20s and 30s, and that's why we're calling it a severe weather warning morning. 29 back towards Citra, 31 Waresdale, 32 Bushnell, 35 on it to Astatula. South and east, temperatures in the upper 30s to around 40. We'll take a look at the wind chills and those cold Saturday morning temperatures at 7:18.
Several of our local counties are opening cold weather shelters over the next few days. You can find those details right now on WESH.com. And remember, our First Warning weather team is working around the clock covering the cold weather. And since tomorrow is a severe weather warning day, be sure to download the free WESH 2 News mobile app and turn on those notifications so you can get warned first of changing conditions in your area.
A federal judge has temporarily blocked President Donald Trump's executive order ending the constitutional guarantee of birthright citizenship.
The judge called the executive order, quote, blatantly unconstitutional. 24 Democratic-led states and cities have filed lawsuits against the order. The lawsuits claim Trump's order violates the constitutional right of citizenship to all children born in the United States.
We came to the courthouse today to defend the United States Constitution, to defend democracy in America, and to defend what it means to be an American citizen.
The judge granted the request to stop the policy for the next 14 days. And as President Trump continues his promised immigration overhaul, we're looking at one of the most common groups facing potential impacts, and that is mixed status families.
WESH 2's Nancy Alvarez has been following this with undocumented parents who may face deportation with their American-born children. In Florida alone, thousands of children could be impacted. As Nancy reports, those who have children who are American citizens are especially worried.
And President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship does not impact Tiana. The change will only impact babies born after the law goes into effect, and that's if it is upheld by the courts. And by the way, President Trump finished signing several new executive orders today. This includes the unclassifying of records related to the assassinations of John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The president's team now has 15 days to present a plan for the full and complete release of records on JFK and 45 days for records on Dr. King and RFK. Trump also signed orders tied to artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency, along with pardons for pro-life protesters.
A former Polk County substitute teacher faces charges accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a 16-year-old girl. Investigators say 23-year-old Chase Crabb of Kissimmee met that girl while working at Haines City High School. We're told the student told her mother that she got sexually charged messages and photos from him. However, the pair began talking to each other in December 2023 when the victim was 15. Investigators say Crabb's messages became sexually suggestive after the girl told him she broke up with her boyfriend. Some of the alleged text messages sent by Crabb include, quote, "I mean, is it wrong for me to be sexually attracted to a minor? Who said that?" Crabb is being held in the Polk County Jail on no bond. A man badly burned at a gas station by a fire triggered by an Osceola County Sheriff's deputy's taser has now filed a federal lawsuit against Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez and several deputies. The fire happened back in February of 2022 after investigators say Deputy David Crawford fired his taser, igniting a pool of gasoline on fire. Jean-Louis Barreto Barrega had been riding a dirt bike with a group of riders who reportedly pulled guns. Crawford was later found not guilty of culpable negligence. Barreto Borrega is demanding a jury trial in this case.
The Volusia County School District has a new employee, and it's not a teacher, it's a dog. Today, after a quick survey of the room, it didn't take long for Maverick to find a planted training object that smelled like a gun. He was added to the team after an increased number of weapons were found in schools. Last school year, they found 50 weapons on school grounds, 2 of which were guns. This year, they're already at 37. The majority of students were caught smuggling knives to school.
There is no doubt in my mind that the kids knowing that they could be searched at any time, as well as the canine could come around and find any weapons, is a definite deterrent.
K9 Maverick and his handler do random searches all around the county's middle and high schools, and he will never sniff a student, but they go around classrooms, lockers, and every school parking lot to check for weapons.
The long-awaited transformation of East International Speedway Boulevard in Daytona Beach is nearing completion. It's been 2 years since construction started on a less than 1 mile stretch of ISB between the river and A1A. FDOT widened and resurfaced the roadway. They also improved crosswalks at key intersections. During construction, residents and business owners say the traffic was a nightmare, but things are looking better.
We did lose the summer and our peak season. What chances are we're going to lose race week and spring break and bike week, but we're optimistic. I mean, it's Daytona.
The world's most famous beach ramp that's on ISB will be complete by this spring. It will have upgraded restrooms and more parking options for tourists. It's no secret the city of Kissimmee is growing with a large population coming from the neighboring island of Puerto Rico. And Kissimmee's new mayor says she is making changes locally to help bridge the gap. Of the 85,000 residents in the city, Mayor Jackie Espinosa says 50,000 are from Puerto Rico or Puerto Rican descent. During a recent visit to the island, the mayor focused on bridging the gap between residents moving from the island to Kissimmee.
We were able to talk to the tourism department as well as the economic development departments in different cities and municipalities. I think they're excited to start creating this relationship with Kissimmee's government. Everywhere you move to, there's guidelines, there's rules, and resources. Where do you go? Where do you file to get your driver's license? Where do you go and register to vote?
To make that process easier, Espinosa is hiring more bilingual staff in City Hall, educating residents in Puerto Rico so they know what offices to go to establish their businesses and when to do it.
Legislation filed at the state capitol would create 12 weeks of paid parental leave for state employees who become new parents. Currently, state workers get up to 9 weeks of paid maternity leave for new mothers and 2 weeks for new fathers. There is currently no requirement for private employers in Florida to provide employees with any time off following the birth of a child. Senate bill sponsor Lori Berman says that the state government is one of the largest employers in the state, and she hopes that the state can lead by example on this issue.
We want people to be having children, but we want to make it so that they're able to enjoy the time after they have children. And certainly there's so much that's going on in those first 3 months of life and the development of the child.
The legislation is not yet scheduled for a committee hearing ahead of the 2025 legislative session, which begins on March 4th.
It's fantastic because it's affordable to take Sunrail, and it's basically a community on wheels. And
Sunrail is on track to connect to Orlando International Airport, but it's a long way to the last stop. Tony.
And right now outside we have a chilly rain, but that is going to move out and colder air is going to move in the next 2 mornings. I'm breaking down the cold and those dangerous wind chills all straight ahead.
Covering Central Florida, so you never miss a moment of what's happening. Every night at 10, Michelle Imparato, Jesse Pagan, and First Warning Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi. WESH 2 News at 10 on CW18. Local, live, late breaking.
This First Warning Weather Update is sponsored by attorney Dan Newlin.
Sunrail is on track to move forward with plans to extend service to Orlando International Airport and eventually add weekend service.
A big step towards that was at the beginning of this year when the funding for rail service started coming 100% from the local counties and cities along the 61-mile rail line.
WESH 2's traffic expert Megan Mackey explains the timeline for these upgrades.
Study is done. Local leaders say they can then move forward with the plans to construct the rail line to MCO. Until then, work will not start on the proposed corridor.
Tonight, the city of Melbourne is hearing from the public on possible changes coming to downtown parking. That could mean metered parking in places where people previously parked for free. The city of Melbourne is taking a look at its parking situation in the downtown area after some concerns over the lack of open spaces. Employees we spoke with say people park here all day long despite signs saying there's a 3-hour parking limit. They say it is impacting business. Kyla Ungos is an esthetician at Millefurio. She says the med spa is actually moving its location and parking is one of the reasons.
Yeah, we definitely have people who don't want to make their appointments at certain times because they know parking is going to be hard.
City of Melbourne retained THA Consulting to develop a downtown Melbourne parking management plan. That plan could include metered parking. SpaceX will begin building a Gigabay facility on Cape Canaveral. In a new filing with the Federal Aviation Administration, work on the building is set to begin very soon. This Gigabay design will happen, or expected to begin in April. Gigabay will be designed for the Starship, which is up until now has only launched in Texas. Right now, the Starship is grounded after the most recent test flight ended in an explosion. The FAA and SpaceX are investigating exactly what went wrong and how to avoid it in the future.
All right, you're going to want to pay attention very closely to the weather over the next couple of days. We are dealing with extremely cold temperatures, dangerously cold.
Tony, people have been texting me whether or not they need to cover up their plants for this one.
Yeah, you know, they will tonight up north of Orlando. And I'll tell you what, I think even Saturday morning we're going to have to cover them here in the metro areas because we're talking about temperatures just above the freezing mark. And we'll be fine-tuning that now over the next 48 hours. Once we get past Saturday morning, though, notice the temperature climb. 69 Sunday afternoon, 71 on Monday, back to normal. And then above normal by the middle of next week, middle and upper 70s. Downtown right now, visibility getting a little bit better coming up, but it's still damp, still raw. Temperatures in the mid-40s here, right around 50. Up in Ocala, the culprit here, a little disturbance down towards the Bahamas, throwing back some light rain and drizzle here from the I-4 corridor to the beach line, I-95, all the way up towards Daytona Beach. We've had drizzle on and off, and notice the feels-like temperatures now. Along the I-4 corridor, middle and upper 30s towards the coast, right around 40. A little bit warmer north and west as they're just kind of socked in with clouds, but no rain. So that's keeping the feels-like temperatures, at least for now, in a little better range. That's going to change, though, overnight tonight as this storm system pulls away. We'll dry out, we'll cool down, and the winds will pick up out of the northwest. That's why we're calling it a severe weather warning morning from about midnight to about the noon hour as we're talking about dangerous wind chills and cold temperatures, especially here in Marion County, right around 30 degrees in many areas, right around freezing in Bushnell, 33 Umatilla, 35 in Claremont. Then we head south and east towards Kissimmee, St. Cloud, Melbourne, upper 30s, low 40s, just above freezing there in Palm Coast. Bunnell looking at a freeze. The land right around freezing up towards Pearston and Astor, 31, 32, where we are expecting a freeze there. When you take a look now at the updated freeze forecast, you saw that little brief window of opportunity there for freezing temperatures, Northern Lake, Northern Sumter, Marion County. But it's Marion County that's got the greatest chance for a longer freeze duration, upwards of 4 hours. storms here, so protect the people, the plants, and the pipes. That's the 3 Ps rule there. Freeze duration, Reddick and Denellen, 5 hours. Bellevue running around 2 hours. Let's take a look at that setup now. Low pressure begins to pull away after midnight, and tomorrow we'll have some sunshine, especially during the late morning on into the afternoon hours, but it's going to be crisp and cool on the backside of that low. Temperatures in the mid-50s, still about 17 degrees below normal for this time of the year, 52 Palm Coast and 54 in Ocala. Chilly week for sure, 30, 28 as we wake up Friday and Saturday morning in Ocala, and then moderating temperatures by Sunday. But look at this, Saturday morning, we have a freeze watch now in effect for all of Lake, all of Sumter, all of Marion, most of Flagler, most of Volusia counties there, and this could expand. We'll have to wait and see if these numbers come down another degree or two. If so, Seminole County could be added to that. Let's take a look now at the coldest temperatures thus far this season. You can see every reporting site that we're forecasting for here. We are calling for the coldest temperature thus far this winter season, just to kind of give you some perspective. Now, as high pressure builds to the east, things will begin to moderate here as we get you on into Sunday afternoon. But the story here, the weekend planner, 62 and 69 respectively as we go from Saturday on into Sunday. Putting it all together for you one more time. Chilly, chilly, chilly Friday and Saturday. But look at that, spring fever by the middle of next week.
All right, here's a preview of tonight's Access Hollywood.
Well, to win an Oscar, first, you got to get nominated. And tonight, we've got The Many Wild Ways. The new nominees celebrated their good fortune today. We're even going to reveal who FaceTimed their dog. But on the flip side, there's always those who miss the cut. So we're going to break down the most surprising snubs, too. And as our film Emilia Perez leads the way with the most nominations, does this sly smile from Selena Gomez mean that she's also got new music on the way? And on the subject of teasing fans, check out this photo of Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan reuniting all these years after their classic rom-com When Harry Met Sally. The pair say they're working on something iconic, and the photo reveals a few clues. It's all just moments away on Access Hollywood.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Shark Coatings.
What does breaking news look like? At WESH 2 News, it's a team of journalists connecting you to what matters most.
Also happening tonight,
it's a reporter gathering facts to go live in your community.
Live from Orange County.
It's a forecast focused on accuracy to keep your family safe.
Good line of storms about to hit.
From the sky, on the ground, or on the go. This is what breaking news looks like. And it's all here on WESH 2 News. Local, live, late breaking.
All right, taking a trip with Mickey Mouse will cost you a little more cheese. Disney Cruise Lines has raised its recommended gratuity rates. According to the company's website, the base daily rate for tips is now $16 per guest. That is a $1.50 hike from before. Customers in suites and concierge staterooms will now be charged $27.25 per day, which is an increase of nearly $4. Disney has not updated these recommended rates since July of 2022. All right, you have to stop what you're doing and watch this. The big winner at a college basketball game was not a sports team, it was a fan.
A University of Nebraska fan got a shot at a new Porsche, and he had to make a putt the full length of the court to win.
He lines up a putt cross court for a new Porsche. He's got the line, it rolls smoothly down the court, braking and gaining speed. It looks like it's a good line, and it's in!
I mean, the only thing they were missing was a windmill.
Like a mini golf.
Like a little mini golf course. Nebraska lost the game. Who cares? The Cornhusker fan went home very happy with the keys to his brand new car.
I just need some statistics on how many people actually make it. Like, do they do this all the time?
So I've seen one other video of a guy who made this shot, and it's probably been 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, because that is literally like the smallest little hole from so far away.
And the wax on the floor.
All right, we are following developing stories for you tonight at 11, including a now fired Orlando police officer accused of cheating the system to line his pockets.
How the department says he allegedly altered his time card to steal taxpayer dollars, and how officials are making sure it won't happen again. Plus, how Volusia County wants to spend more than $133 million in Hurricane Milton disaster relief funds. That's tonight at 11. That does it for now. Be sure to join us again at 10 o'clock over in the CW18, 11 o'clock right here on WESH 2.
And the news is always on WESH.com and the free WESH 2 News mobile app. Have a wonderful night.